What is happening, everyone? It is your boy, D-WIZZLE. And today, we need to have a talk. We need to have a serious talk. Um, Going forward, there is something that I am deciding to do from now on when it comes to certain films. And this has been something I have been thinking about for the longest time. And I've been trying to push it off, push it off, push it off, but it's getting to a point now where I feel like I just need to do this for my own personal sanity, my own personal reasons. So I'm sure you guys seen the title of the video, so you pretty much know where I'm about to talk about. But yeah, I have decided, right, from now on until the quality of these movies consistently get better, I have decided I am no longer going to be seeing Disney live action remakes in theaters again. Um yeah, that's pretty much what I'm deciding to do. And I see that DreamWorks is trying to trying to dip their toe into live action remakes as well, and I don't think I'm going to see those in theaters either. Um so when I say that, I'm sure some of you are asking, so does that mean you're not going to review those movies ever, though you're just not going to see them at all? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I am not going to see them in theaters. I'm going to wait to watch them when they come on VOD, or if they come on streaming. I will, if you guys want me to review these live action remakes, then you will have to wait for me to catch it on streaming. Or if there's enough demand out there that people want me to review them right in the theater, like, and somebody has to pay for my movie ticket. That's pretty much the only way I will go see a live action remake in the theater. Is, yeah, if I have enough people yelling at me to review a live action remake, and if somebody pays for my ticket. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get me to go see a live action remake. So why am I deciding to do this? Well, there's quite a few reasons actually. And when I say this, I am not saying that my opinion and my feelings on live action remakes is something that you guys should feel. If you guys are enjoying the Disney live action remakes, you enjoy watching them in the theaters, then keep enjoying them, keep watching them. You want to hear people's thoughts on it right when it comes out in theaters? There are plenty of YouTube channels out there that are more than happy to go see this in theaters and give your opinion on it. But just for me, you're just gonna have to wait for me to go watch it on streaming, because me personally, this is just me, how I'm feeling. I am extremely fatigued of these Disney live action remakes. I really am. I have gotten to a point where I am not excited to see any of them in theaters. I'm not. Initially, when they first started doing this, I was kind of on board with it actually. I remember I remember talking about it when on one of the Disney casts that I was doing, that when they started with the Cinderella in 2015 and the Jungle Book in, what was it, 2016, 2016, 2017, I really enjoyed those live action remakes. I really did. um to this day, those are probably the best ones out there. um and I thought, if they kept that quality of the live action remake of those live action remakes of Cinderella and the Jungle Book, if they kept that quality, then doing these live action remakes I think, would be worthwhile doing. But that is not the case. That has not been the case for over 15 years now that they've been doing these remakes. The majority of them have been mid, forgettable, or straight up trash. Um, I could go down a list of live action remakes that have not worked for me. We'll be here all day to name a few. You know, Alice in Wonderland, um, Lion King, Aladdin, Snow White. Um, what else is out there? Like Christopher Robin. Yeah, I didn't like Christopher Robin. I'm sorry. Peach Dragon, forgettable. It wasn't horrible, but just not very memorable. Um, and then the final straw for me, the final straw for me was Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite Disney films. And yeah, I saw that last year in theaters. I remember I remember seeing the trailers for Lilo and Stitch and I thought to myself, they actually might get this right. This actually looks like they're trying to capture somewhat of the magic of the original movie. Lilo and Stitch is you can't mess this up. It's just the easiest thing to adapt to live action. It's so easy. It's so simple. It can appeal to so many people. Just try not to divert off the path too much. Can you make some changes here and there? Sure. Don't just be a straight up shot for shot. Do something new. I obviously that's what I would like to see with these remakes is them trying something new and them actually working. Just because they try something new doesn't mean it always works. But I would rather them try something new, that something that makes sense, but still keeping the essence and the spirit of the original movie. That was so easy to do with Lilo and Stitch. And I said to myself, if I walk out of this live action Lilo and Stitch underwhelmed, I'll be done. I'll be done. Because before then, we had Snow White with Rachel Zegler, which was awful. They had no business even making that movie the way they did. They shouldn't have even casted Rachel Zegler as Snow White. I don't care what people got to say about the race stuff. Like people say, she did not fit the character. Race was the last thing I was thinking about. I'm talking about personality. I'm talking about singing. I'm talking about costume work. I'm talking about the way she was written. Did not fit the character. And Gal Gadot as the evil queen was even worse. We came off of that. We came off of Mufasa, which that wasn't one of the worst ones, but still not very good. And they should have even made a sequel from that 2019 Lion King, but that movie made over $1 billion, so of course they will. A lot of these live action remakes are making billions of dollars, and to this day, I don't understand why. I don't. Is a lot of it must be nostalgia. It must be nostalgia because the families, the kids, like they're remembering how it originally felt when they first watched the original versions of these movies, and they want to have that feeling again. Instead of just actually, I don't know, pulling up the movie on Disney Plus and just watching the original again, they have to go back to the theater and watch a subpar live action remake of something that was already great. But anyway, I'll get more into that in a second. Going back to Lilo and Stitch, I said if they do not knock it out of the park with Lilo and Stitch, I said to myself I was going to be done watching these movies in the theater. I have gotten to a point where I've seen so many of these live action remakes that I'm not enjoying watching them. It's almost how I'm feeling with watching all the Sony Spider-Man universe movies, the Morbius, Venom, Craven, all them. It's a similar feeling that I'm watching with this, except it's worse because I've seen a lot more live action remakes than those Sony films. Like this is 15 years of me watching underwhelming, just bad remakes of these Disney classics. These classics. And you're now getting to one of my favorite films. Well, they already kind of like tested my patience with Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, because those two are also two of my favorite films of all time. And I was underwhelmed with both of those remakes as well. And then, oh, Mulan. Can't even forget Mulan. That was also released during the pandemic. And they did the day and date thing, but on Disney Plus, you had to pay like, what, $30 to watch it. And that was, God. But yeah, so I watched so many of these that I don't believe that it's going to get better anytime soon. It feels like Disney is resting on their morals as far as them making these remakes. So why would they have to improve? All they have to do is hit the right nostalgia notes from the original movie, change some stuff here and there, put some political agenda stuff in here, race swap people for no reason, have some wonky CGI, have like environments that look like they're on a sound stage, put it out in theaters, it'll make billions of dollars. Lo and behold, Lilo and Stitch comes in and it makes $1 billion. This live action remake actually made $1 billion. I shouldn't actually be surprised about this because Stitch is very popular overseas. So I figured it was going to make a lot of money. But I walked out of that remake disappointed. Or it made me want to go back and watch the original again. And I was done. I was done. Lilo and Stitch was the last straw for me. So I just don't feel any motivation to go see this in theaters. I don't. And I feel like if I continue to go see these in the theater, I'm contributing to their negligence of, of these remakes. I know that my dollar is not going to determine whether or not they'll make them or not. They're going to make them regardless. They're going to make billions of dollars without me. So it does, like, obviously it's not just about me, but just my sanity. Just my sanity. I can't get myself to pay money for a movie that I know is going to be bad. This is similar to how I'm feeling with the Transformers films because there are rumors going around that Michael Bay is possibly going to come back and direct another Transformers movie after we gotten Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, and Transformers 1, which all three of those movies are better than all the films that Michael Bay's directed. But because nobody went out to see Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, and Transformers 1, they're thinking, oh, the reason why it's not as successful is because Michael Bay is not directing it. No, that's not why. Because Michael Bay set a horrible precedence with his films to the point where when the Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast and Transformers 1 came out, nobody wanted to go see them because they're thinking in their mind, oh, the Transformers movies suck. This one's going to suck as well. So, yeah, I just can't do it anymore. Disney, I set to such a high standard because they have been the pioneers of storytelling for decades. Decades. If whenever I reveal my favorite films of all time, if I had a top 100, top 50, a majority or at least a good quarter of my list are Disney films. They have been a part of my childhood for the longest time. To this day, they still got me by a chokehold. Whenever I see certain characters, certain moments, certain songs, instantly hits me in the heart. And I'm a grown man saying this. I'm a grown 30-year-old man losing his hair that is saying that Disney still is a part of my life. And I hate where Disney is going as far as their business model, the way they're producing films. Their priorities are all out of whack. Their 100th anniversary was one of the most disappointing years in Disney's history. That was the same year we got Wish, Indiana Jones 5, all the other crap. That's not how we should be celebrating Disney's 100-year anniversary. And so I'm looking at these live action remakes. It's almost a full blown conclusion that they're going to be bad. Like, it's just been a track record of mediocre, trash, mediocre, mediocre, trash, 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 mediocre. I just can't handle it anymore. I can't. And you guys already know how I feel about animation in general, that people treat animated films like second class citizens. And I hate that. I hate that. There are so many animated movies that are on the quality or even better than live action films. And Disney set the standard when it came to animated films. And I hate now that Disney feels like that no one is going to see an animated property in theaters anymore. They're not as invested in animation as they were before. The only way they're going to get people in the theater is if they take these animated properties they already made and turn them into live action, because people care more that they're live action now. It feels more tangible to them. It feels more real to them. I I think that's a whole big load of bullshit. When I hear that, when I see that, and I even seeing adults, not only when I hear adults talk about animated films on the internet, but even in real life, in my personal life, I to this day I hear people say that they will refuse to see an animated film in theaters because it's animated. My my own mother says that. I'm sorry to put my mother on the spot, but like that's how bad it is. I have family members that refuse to see animated films in theaters. I have even movie critics that I listen to. They say that they won't see certain animated stuff in theaters. And like specifically there are people that are saying that, well, this is a random thing, but like the Legend of Zelda movie that's coming out, there are people out there that are saying that they would prefer to see this in live action than be in animation, and they think they'll get more success if this is live action than animation, even though Super Mario Brothers, that animated film, made over $1 billion. And you don't think that animated Zelda could do, I wouldn't say that it will make as much as Super Mario Brothers, but you don't think it'll be successful as well? Like, that's the type of mindset that we're getting. There's people that I know that that still has not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. And those are two of the best Spider-Man films ever made. But people will not see it because it's animated. Guys don't know how much that infuriates me. Transformers 1, in my opinion, is the best Transformers film ever made. It is the best Transformers film ever made. I talked about it on the channel already. You guys can go watch it. But people didn't want to go see it because it looked like a childish cartoon. And the movie was far from that. It's more egregious with Disney because they created some of the best films of the decade. You guys know the Disney Renaissance. Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Little Mermaid, all that stuff. Some of these movies were nominated for Oscars. Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story, nominated for Oscars. Not for Best Animated Film, but Best Film. Along with the other live action movies. Like, that is the unlimited possibilities of animation. And they think that their original versions don't hold up today. People don't care about those movies today. Like, if Beauty and the Beast came out today, I guarantee you people would love it. If the original Lion King came out today, people would love it. If Mulan came out today, people would love it. I could go down the list. If Aladdin came out today, people would love it. People wouldn't care that it's animated or even 2D animated at that fact. but the stories were great. The characters were great. The music was great. That's not going to change just because you turn to live action. If anything, you're restricting it because there's certain things that they do in animation that they cannot translate as well in live action. The vivid colors, the movement of the characters, the environments, the physics, the way the story plays out. There are certain things that work out better in animation than it does in live action. In live action, you'll be nitpicking a lot more things because there are cartoony situations, there's fantastical situations that play out better in animation. In live action, it makes stuff look silly, it makes stuff look over the top, it gives it an uncanny valley looking type of aesthetic. The music won't be as good because they rely on auto-tune more because they want to bring in these big actors in these remakes that can't sing as well, but they have to mask it over auto-tune, but they have to cast these big actors to get people in the theaters. Like, what the hell is that? I just I can't. I can't do this anymore. And now we're getting to a point where they're remaking their animated properties that aren't even 10 years old, that aren't even 5 years old. We're about to get a Moana live action remake with The Rock. And the first movie is not even 5 years old. We just got Moana 2 last year. The sequel to the original animated movie came out last year. And now this year we're getting the live action remake to the original. Like, I don't understand why people aren't talking about that more. That is ridiculous. How are you making a live action remake when you are already putting in resources to make sequels to the original animated film? It doesn't make sense. I don't know why people aren't questioning this more. Like, it just feels like a blatant cash grab. And yes, in the grand scheme of things, whenever somebody's making a movie, it's always a cash grab. People are wanting movies to make money, yes. But it doesn't feel like this remake is made out of passion. Like, people want to tell a different version of the story. I don't feel passion when I'm hearing they're doing a remake to this. All I'm seeing is they're trying to capitalize on a trend and they want to do what The Rock says, because I think The Rock pushed to make this remake because his other ventures weren't working, because Red 1 sucked and Black Adam sucked and Red Notice on Netflix sucked and his stuff that he was doing with the WWE sucked. So he has to go back to Disney and be like, "Hey, I want to do a live action remake of Moana." Yeah. I know you just did an animated sequel there, and I know it made $1 billion, but the people will still see this because of live action, and I'm The Rock. Like, screw that, man. Screw that. So, yeah, I definitely do not want to see this live action remake of Moana. I don't want to see it. I see the trailer and I feel nothing. I feel absolutely nothing. And then they recently announced they're doing a Tangled remake, and they announced the cast for that, and I could care less. I don't want to see that either. I know that DreamWorks just released How to Train Your Dragon. It's out on streaming. I may or may not watch it. But if I'm not gonna watch, I'm not in a hurry to watch it. But hearing that they did that, I was mad about that because the original animated trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies as well. All three of those movies are great, and I don't understand why they did a remake of those. Because the dragons look cooler in live action. Get out of here. Get out of here. I just no, no. And if you don't think that Disney is going to do a live action remake of Frozen, you're bugging. I know that they announced Frozen 3, and it's pretty much a full blown conclusion that they're going to do a Frozen 4 after that, because guaranteed Frozen 3 is going to make $1 billion, and most likely Frozen 4 is going to make $1 billion. But if you think that's going to stop them from making a Frozen live action remake, you are lying to yourself. I know they're going to do it, and I will not go out and see it. I will not. Probably by then, I probably will have kids, and they probably will want to go see that in theaters. But I'm just gonna be like, no, we're gonna watch the animated movies on Disney Plus because we know for a fact it's going to be better than whatever they're gonna do with this Frozen live action remake. Like we know that for a fact. I'm sure my wife is probably gonna push for them to go see it in theaters. Well, I'm gonna be like, as long as you're paying for everyone's ticket, I know I don't want to go see it. I don't. Like I said, there are some exceptions here and there. Like I actually liked the Little Mermaid remake. I actually liked that. I didn't like it as much as Cinderella and Jungle Book, but I thought, okay, that was putting in a little more effort. But once again, I'm watching that being like, I still would rather go watch the original Little Mermaid. Like that's how I feel every time I see these remakes. It's not going away. And so like I don't want to contribute to their I don't want to contribute to that, like I would just rather just go watch it on Disney Plus because it's already out there and I don't have to pay extra for give it to them. Cause like I still don't understand to this day how these movies are making billions of dollars. I just don't. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I Some of you might be upset that I'm deciding to do this, and I get it, but I just don't see a good reason for me to go support this anymore. I don't want to support these remakes anymore. I want them to get back to making animated movies. I want them to go back and give us the quality that I know that Disney can do. And remaking all your Disney classics is not the answer. You need to go back and put more resources back in your animations division and Pixar also, because I think they need some help as well, because they're relying a lot on sequels as well, and I'm kind of skeptical about Toy Story 5, but that's a whole other thing too. But no, no. And if you're going to do live action movies, can they please be original? Can we go back to making original live action movies? I know there was a period of time where they were attempting it with the John Carters and the Sorcerer's Apprentice and the Haunted Mansions. Okay, Tomorrowland, but I just I just I just don't like it. I don't like that they're remaking these classic properties that I grew up on, and they're not even making it. They're not even doing anything that different with them. They're not. It just makes the animated films more superior to me. And I almost forgot that they were releasing live action remakes on Disney Plus too, like Pinocchio, horrible. Peter Pan and Wendy, horrible. Lady and the Tramp, it was mid, but it wasn't great. But Lily, I have not. I don't remember the last time I saw a live action remake where I thought it was great. Literally, the last time was Jungle Book and Cinderella. I I'm fatigued. I'm really fatigued. I'm sorry. Um, like like I said, like I'll still review some of them on the I'll review them on the Disney cast later down the line, and I'll still review Disney films as they come out. But the live action remakes, I don't want to see them in theaters. I'll watch them later on Disney Plus, and I'll review them later after they're on Disney Plus. But that's just how I'm feeling. That's my decision. I'm gonna stick to it right now until they show signs that they are improving with these remakes. Until their strategy just completely changes, I don't want to support these in the theater anymore because I know what I'm gonna get. I know what the quality is gonna be, and at the end of the day, I feel like it's gonna be a waste of money. And I already know that I'm not able to see every single movie that comes out this year, and I have to pick and choose which ones I think will be worth seeing in theaters. And right now, the live action remakes from Disney, I don't think are worth spending $60, $6,200 for. That's just my opinion. Um, but that's what I want to talk about. That is my decision. So that's what's gonna happen going forward. I still review the regular Disney animated movies that come out. I'll go see them in theaters when I'm able to. I'll go see Pixar. I'll see other live action stuff. But the remakes, I'm putting a hard stop on that right now. I'm not seeing them. But comment your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about the live action remakes up to this point? Um, do you, do you guys really want me to go see these in theaters? Are you guys okay with me waiting to watch them on streaming? Do you think it's a good idea for them to do live action remakes, or do you want them to go back to do more original ideas? How do you feel about animated movies in general? Do you feel like it's necessary for them to do live action remakes? Let me know all your thoughts down below. Um, and that's all I have for you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye bye.